everybody, welcome back to another Sparky lesson. Now I'm going to show you two things really quickly, and then I want you to look at them and try and guess what they are, and I'll tell you the answer a little bit later in the lesson. Now, the last lesson we had about the flood, we ended with the question of what does it have to do with fossils, and it actually has everything to do with them. Genesis chapter 7, verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. So, the ground broke open, and water came shooting up from underneath, and of course it was pouring rain. When the water came up out of the ground, it picked up all kinds of mud, sand, gravel, sediments, things like that. And have you ever seen a picture of, or maybe even been to the Grand Canyon? Well, those different colorful layers we call rock layers. Rock layers are where there's different rocks and sediment layers on top of each other. This was created by the flood because when the water spread out, it spread out the mud and everything that it had picked up, throwing layers on top of layer. It is in these layers that we find the remains of animals, plants, and sea creatures. You see, let's say a fish swimming, doing its own thing, minding its own business, and then water, when the earth broke open, it picked up the mud and it spread it everywhere. It happened very quickly, so it covered everything that wasn't on the ark. That fish then would have died, and the bones, or the remains of it, would have been perfectly preserved. And now we find them today as fossils. The first thing I had showed you is called petrified wood. Petrified wood is wood that's pretty much made as hard as rock, and it comes in multiple different shades of color, sizes, all kinds. The second thing that I had showed you is actually the fossil of a trilobite. Now, a trilobite belongs to the family of crabs. Many suggest that fossils are created over long periods of time, but that is not the case. It just requires the right conditions. A lot of mud and a lot of water at the same time. I hope that y'all enjoyed tonight's lesson. I cannot wait to see you in the next one.